All right, welcome to our Group 6 project where we are recommending a revamp of the BYUI Canvas site. And why the revamp is we've come across a few issues that students have been having that were more communication in nature. A few of the items, the general themes that they're having issues with have to deal with having an unintuitive navigation menu, having ineffective collaboration methods, having really unreliable calendars, having no real-time communication, and really other problems regarding the functionality for assignments and work completed. Now, who this affects both students and teachers. Students because, like I mentioned before, it's really communication in nature and being able to keep track of their progress and seeing what they've accomplished. And the relationship between the students and the teachers is really the lifeblood of the student's educational life, especially for online students. So as the students struggle with on their end with the communication, naturally the teacher's side will be affected as well. Now, what we found as far as these particular problems is the students do have the inability to see responses from their posts and other collaborative features when they make responses to groups. They can't see if anybody post replies to them unless they're the creators of the content. When students and teachers reply to discussion posts, they are unable to see whether or not the students actually get the responses from that. And a lot of groups do rely on third-party methods, whether it's Slack, using Google Docs, Hangouts, and other such sources. They seem to look towards other sources that do not relate to Canvas due to its inefficiency to be able to accommodate the groups like these other third-party methods do. So we did want to consider a few different options when looking at the whole. We wanted to consider the idea of possibly doing nothing, that maybe these problems aren't that big a deal. We considered changing the LMS. Maybe there is a better option, so we did want to look into that. We also wanted to look at and make sure that we were successfully using the tool that we did have. So this idea of modifying Canvas, maybe it does give us features and functionalities that we're just not using. So we wanted to be open-minded to all ideas and through our research see what turns out. Now, in our research, we did actually find quite a few positive things about Canvas that we didn't recognize before. One, there is the ease of grading, which is very helpful from an administrative standpoint. There is positive experiences organizing and setting up the courses, which is helpful for the teachers and the other faculty. The general course navigation is pretty good, and the task completion option is helpful for students to be able to see when tasks are completed. That helps them gauge how they are doing with the week to help schedule out what they need to do as the week's work commences. We've also seen that it has a superior mobile interface. There's improved data accessibility. There's an ease of adaptation among new users, and it has better management of LTIs, which are learning tools integration. Now, there was a little study done with students and faculty. As you can see here, this graph is representing the student results. There's a strong leaning towards Canvas, how it's actually much better than iLearn. But there's still quite enough of a difference where it's not majority over Canvas, it's not overwhelmingly Canvas, and that's what stood out to us. And it was large enough where we realized we can't just not do anything about it, so that option of not doing anything wouldn't really be helpful for us. We would have to do something about it. Now, this one was interesting when we were looking at the teacher side of things. The overwhelming majority leaned towards Canvas. They had 100% positive ratings after it was implemented and after they tried it out. Just like we mentioned, it made it really easy from an administrative standpoint, which is really important. And we felt that the teachers would be fine as long as the students can get taken care of. So really, it really came down to the issues with the students, and any issues with the students that would be fixed would fix that communication problems that the teachers had, as mentioned before. So the conclusion we came up that the faculty side was good, we just had to make improvements on the student side. And we did realize that Canvas actually does have the tools to do it, which is really good. So because of that, that knocks out our option of maybe looking into a new LMS. We realized that that's not necessary. So it really came down to, we felt that the best way was really just to modify what we already have due to the features and functionalities that Canvas already has provided that we just haven't been implementing it. Now, when looking at some of these problems that were mentioned before, we did notice that they're related by issues that happened during the course setup. And we also discovered that Canvas is actually open source, that was made open source by the main company who built it, the Instructure site. And some of the results that we've seen is Canvas is really customizable. It allows for internal tools to be tweaked and modified to address the issues that we have. So it looked like a lot of the problems that we have been having is just due to us not really utilizing or implementing the tools that we have available. So it was nice being able to see now this would be helpful because it wouldn't cost us as much money, especially now that we're kind of in the middle of a change already. It's highly not feasible to be able to just jump to another LMS anyway while being in the middle of an LMS change. So we knew again that we couldn't do that, but it was great seeing that these tools were available. And because it was open source, we had a different methods of avenues to be able to address how we wanted to make these corrections. We also noticed that there was it comes with an API that allows external tools to be integrated with existing software. For example, Slack, a lot of groups use Slack. The Google Calendar, these can actually be integrated and implemented into the Canvas, so that way we get the best of both worlds. If Canvas doesn't have the tools internally, it can use these external tools and make it a part of it, thus making Canvas better and thus modifying and fine-tuning it specifically to fit the needs of the students and the school. So our recommendation was to keep Canvas. There's a couple of ways we could go about doing that. If we go through Instructure to see first if they can modify and make those tweaks, and if not, because of the open source nature of Canvas, we felt that we'd be able to modify it in-house. Now the nice thing with this is it would be very financially feasible because we can, what has been brought up is, for example, we create a course where the students get together and they're able to learn new skills and put their skills to the test, but they apply it to Canvas where they make the changes, and if the changes are productive and it actually works for what the school wants to accomplish, they can implement those things that the students did. The students would get credit and the students are learning the material, so it's a win all across the board. So that was our presentation. That was our recommendation to stick with Canvas, leverage those tools and those implementations that it already provides for us. It was just a matter of looking into it and really seeing those options of either going through Instructure and or doing it in-house. Hope you guys enjoy the presentation, and we hope that you seriously consider this change with Canvas. Thank you.